he mentioned that AI agents are going to be a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity, and he's absolutely right. The biggest opportunity ever in history. But guess what? Even AI agents need to be prompt, and speech is still the most natural form of communication.
We're here on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange for International Day. It brings together leaders and C-suite members from around the world to talk about innovation and growth for the future. And I'm pleased now to be joined by one of the key attendees, Amir Haramaty. He's the co-founder and president of aiOla. Amir, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. What brings you to International Day?
Well, we've been doing something quite amazing. They're getting tremendous exposure. So we've been exposed to the New York Stock Exchange from early on. And as part of our trajectory, we keep talking to the New York Stock Exchange, and very appreciative and privileged to be here today as one of the selected members of this International Day. So I'm excited about the day.
We're excited to have you as well. Introduce our viewers to your company. What do they need to know about it?
At the end of the day, we're not trying to build technology for technology's sake. This is my 6th startup I'm involved with, and I don't like to call myself serial entrepreneur. I think that word has been washed down. I like to define myself as a serial problem solver. So it's about really real problem that make a difference, move the needle, and make an impact. And with everything that happened with AI in the last decade, which is incredible, I think we get a bit confused because AI tools are amazing, but despite the fact they're AI, they're still just tools. And then we realize the biggest challenge is data. And that's the reason we realize there's a huge opportunity to solve the data problem by voice.
Mm-hmm. Why is voice the most natural and powerful interface for human to machine interaction?
It's a great question. Speech or voice by far is the fastest way to get information. It's 3 times faster than anything else. It's in 1/3 of the time you're actually capturing 3x amount of data. One day, God willing, your grandkid is going to find a keyboard in your garage, and you're going to say, "Grandma Kristen, what is this?" And you're going to struggle to explain that was a most creative way to communicate with machine by punching buttons, okay? So it's super clear that this is heading, but it's very challenging. So the question is super clear. The implementation is much more complicated.
Why are frontline manual processes the ideal proving ground for voice agentic transformation?
It's a great question, and actually it's even, if I may, a bigger question, because at the end of the day, one of the struggles right now, or the complaints about the AI bubble, is the fact the cost of AI is so expensive and it's very difficult to retrieve and show ROI. Therefore, we believe, my mother always told me, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Try to keep that proportion. And at the end of the day, it's incredible what you're able to hear if you're willing to listen. So the key there is to go after the traditional enterprises that have many processes in place. And we believe that by doing that by speech, actually is going to make instant impact in ROI and will create data that previously was uncaptured and unstructured. So rather than build a technology that organization will have to adjust to, is to build a technology that here to adjust to the existing processes. And we're talking, Kristen, about 2 billion frontline employees that this is applicable to.
Wow. What makes voice recognition challenging?
The concept is clear. I think we all agree on that, and everybody understands it's all about data, but a combination of languages, accents, acoustic environment, and above all, we learned that in every industry, in every company, in every location, there's a very specific jargon. Hence, it's very difficult in those settings to get to accuracy, which is good enough. So one, how you can do it in accuracy that's close to 100% in any language, accent, acoustic environment, or jargon. And we did it in a very unique and proprietary and patented way, but even then it's not enough. Because now we have great transcription, but how we separate the noise from the signal? How can we extract only what's relevant? So we built another technology which is called keyword spotting that separates the noise from the signal, but even that is not good enough because at the end of the day, it's not speech to text as we know it. It's actually speech as highly unstructured data to highly structured data. So speech to data, speech to schema, speech to workflow, which is very difficult. And in a very honest and very modest way, we were able to do it.
Give us a reality check when it comes to enterprise AI adoption.
That's incredible. 3 months ago, MIT released, for us at least not surprising, but very important research that showed that 95% of AI pilots in enterprises fail to show value in ROI. So at the end of the day, that's a very harsh reality that it's all about return of investment. And the key there is it's democratizing. I'll give you an example. We're working with a supermarket chain in Canada French Canadian is a very challenging language. Background noise at a supermarket is very difficult. They have to do a critical process of checking the temperature of the meat inside a refrigerator on a daily basis. By doing that by speech, we save them 110,000 hours that went directly to EBITDA. So it's a direct line of sight, direct ROI. And we're talking about groceries, a 2% margin industry. You know, Frank Sinatra sang about New York, if I can make it here, I can make it anywhere. And I say, if I can do it with a 2% margin industry and show 5x ROI, but we didn't stop there. We're going for one of the largest pharmaceutical companies, where we, less than half time needed for maintenance report, we tripled the amount of data. Then we took it to one of the largest jewelry manufacturer in China, doing QA inspection of pieces of jewelry, a process that takes about 180 seconds. So they look and then have to write a report. Now they're looking and talking in Mandarin, by the way, which is a very challenging language. And from 180 seconds, we went down to less than 30 seconds. So everything we do, last night, we're working right now with one of the largest rental car companies in the world, that we found out we can save them $2 million per site, just by capturing the information faster by speech, getting the information on structured data, connect the dots beyond what the human eye can see, and get the brain to think beyond, and connect dots beyond what the human brain can process, but get you things that you never thought was feasible even to get.
Yeah. What do you see as the future of AI agents?
You know, a much smarter man than me, Jensen from NVIDIA, which, by the way, we have a tremendous partnership with NVIDIA, and in the last GTC event, in the keynote speech, Jensen talked about our collaboration. He mentioned that AI agents are going to be a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity, and he's absolutely right. The biggest opportunity ever in history. But guess what? Even AI agents need to be prompt, and speech is still the most natural form of communication, and you're going to stumble to the same fundamental challenges we already solved. Number one. Number two, agents are always going to be as good as the data underneath. But now we're capturing and structuring data that previously was uncaptured and structured. And we have such a raw material, now agents can go further. So therefore for us, it's a very exciting times because we solve the fundamental issues of a language. And I'll give you even a fresh example. We're working with a client in Germany, one of the airports, and we developed a language model for that specific process, and the results were terrible. Turns out, most of the users are Turks, immigrants that speak Turkish German, a language that doesn't exist. What we have done with our technology, we don't care what language, the phonetic component. A language for us is just a carrier for the data. So we were able to use our jargon to understand that instead of saying Guten Morgen, it's a Gute Jorgen. Jorgen means Morgen in jargon, so we found ways to even do gibberish or Spanglish or any other language, because at the end of the day, it's all about the data. Speech is the most natural form and fastest way to do it. And if we can extract that, you can take and apply it in any industry, in any process, in any language. And that's what gets us very excited.
Yeah. What are you hoping to take away from International Day here at the Stock Exchange, Amir?
You know, I'm a ever learning person. I'm an avid reader. I'm infomaniac. I like to collect as much information as I can. So first of all, thank you for inviting us, because it's a great gathering of some of the greatest brains and minds and entrepreneurs. So I hope to, again, talk to great colleagues and other entrepreneurs and talk to other problem solvers. But for me, every time I'm here in this area, it's an iconic building with so much history, so much to learn from. So for me, I'm hungry for information, and I'm excited about the day.
Well, we are excited to have you here at the New York Stock Exchange. Amir, thank you so much for joining me here on the trading floor.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.